All right, so get this. We've basically got you front row seats at OpenAI's 2024 DevDay. Like, we're going deep into this fireside chat they had with Sam Altman and Kevin Wile.
Yeah, this is a big one.
Big one, right. Insider access, all the key takeaways, predictions that'll honestly make you rethink what's even possible with AI. Ready to dive in?
Let's do it. I mean, there was so much hype around this. Everyone wondering just how close are we to AGI, artificial general intelligence, you know?
Right, like just around the corner.
Right.
And Altman just went for it, straight into that. Revealed OpenAI's new levels framework, how they're measuring AI progress. They're saying they've hit level 2.
Level 2, wow.
Which they call reasoners with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
To explain that, like what it actually means, Altman said these level 2 AIs can understand and respond to these super complex arguments and even like anticipate what you need before you even say it.
It's amazing how fast things are progressing. And Altman predicts level 3, that's agents is coming soon, like really soon. He thinks 2025.
This year.
This year, exactly. That AI agents go mainstream and just completely change how we work.
Okay, wait, hold on. Agents. That word gets thrown around. What does it actually mean here?
So think of it this way. Now, we talk to AI with chat, right? Questions, answers, back and forth. Agents, though, they can actually do stuff in the digital world. Maybe even eventually in the real world, too. Like, imagine an AI that can write your emails, sure, but also schedule your meetings, book your flights, even, like, negotiate a deal for you.
That's a lot to process. So we're going from asking it to write a poem to it running our lives. How do we even keep up?
It is a lot, but Altman's point is humans adapt super fast. He gave this great example. Remember self-driving cars? When they first came out, people were terrified, but after just 20 minutes, they were bored, checking their phones, totally trusting the AI. He thinks AI agents will be the same. Radical today, normal tomorrow.
That's both cool and kind of scary. But if they're going to be so powerful, how do we even start to make sure they're safe? Like the AI takeover, right? That's got to be on everyone's mind.
Absolutely. And Altman was surprisingly honest about this. He said, straight up, OpenAI could have launched ChatGPT way faster if they weren't worried about safety. He even said that with, say, ChatGPT 3, if it's not developed responsibly, the consequences could be unacceptable.
So they're walking this line, pushing AI, but making sure it doesn't go full Skynet, high stakes. Any idea what specific challenges they hit?
One they didn't expect was, even they, the people building this, are surprised by how human-like it's getting. Altman said he felt tricked by ChatGPT's new voice mode.
Really?
Yeah, it sounded so real he found himself saying please and thank you to it.
Wait, he still says please and thank you to ChatGPT? That's hilarious. Or scary. I don't know. Makes you think, if the experts are reacting like that, what happens when we can't even tell it's AI anymore?
It's a huge ethical problem, one OpenAI is definitely struggling with. The more sophisticated these models get, figuring out how to design them so they don't, like, take advantage of our human trust, that's going to be crucial.
Okay, so OpenAI is pushing boundaries, but trying to be responsible. What did they say about their approach? Like, what are they focusing on?
Research. That's their big thing. Altman was adamant that anyone can copy what's working now. OpenAI, they're about breakthroughs. They want to find the next big thing, not just make what's already here a little better.
So not ChatGPT 2.0, but what comes after ChatGPT. That's ambitious. Did they say what that looks like day to day?
Kevin Wile, the chief product officer, he gave us some insight. Said building products at OpenAI, it's wild because what the computers can actually do, that's changing constantly. He told this funny story about an enterprise customer who wanted 60 days notice before any major updates.
60 days.
Yeah, and Wile's like, I wish. Even he doesn't know what these AIs will be capable of in a few months.
That's crazy. Most companies, it's all about predictability, roadmaps. They're saying, hold on, we're figuring it out as we go.
It sounds like controlled chaos, but it's working. They dog food everything, meaning they use their own AI models for everything. Like they're already living in the future, using it for customer service, security, constantly learning, changing as they go.
Gotta ask, any juicy details they let slip? Behind the scenes stuff, always love that.
This was interesting. Altman, he actually praised a competitor's product. Said Google's Notebook LM is cool, highlighted its podcast-style voices. You don't hear that every day from a CEO, especially in tech.
Wow, giving props to the competition. That's really unexpected. Kind of cool though, right? Like saying, even in this race to build the future, there's room to appreciate a good idea, no matter where it comes from.
Exactly. And speaking of good ideas, Wile acknowledged that people have been asking for some key features in ChatGPT. Things like system prompts, structured outputs, function calling. He promised those are coming by the end of the year. So they're listening, trying to make it even better.
That's great. Before we move on, what stood out to you so far?
For me, it's the sheer speed of it all. We're on the edge of something huge, especially with these AI agents. But it's clear there are big ethical questions that come with all this power.
I'm right there with you. It is kind of reassuring, though, that OpenAI is at least trying to be responsible, even if it means going a little slower to make sure things don't get out of control.
It makes you think, though, if it's already this advanced, what's next? What breakthroughs are right around the corner? How is this all going to impact our lives, our jobs, what it even means to be human?
Big questions. And we're just getting started. In Part 2, we'll uncover even more from OpenAI's DevDay, so make sure you come back for that.
Welcome back to our deep dive on OpenAI's DevDay. We really just scratched the surface.
Yeah, there's so much more to talk about. And remember, we're going for that insider perspective.
Exactly. The stuff you wouldn't get just from reading headlines.
For sure. So speaking of insider info, let's talk about how OpenAI uses AI themselves, like internally.
Oh yeah, they call it dogfooding.
Dogfooding.
Basically, using their own products before anyone else.
So they're like their own beta testers.
Exactly. But on a huge scale.
Okay, so how does that work in practice?
Well, they talked about their customer service team.
Okay.
Much smaller than it would be without AI. They use these AI bots to answer external questions, handle stuff on Slack, all those routine things.
So the AI is handling the repetitive stuff.
Right, which frees up humans to focus on the more complex issues.
That makes sense. Is that happening in other departments too?
Oh, yeah. They mentioned the security team using AI to sort through tons of data, finding actual threats.
It's like an AI security guard that never sleeps.
Exactly. Always watching, always learning.
Makes you wonder what else they're using AI for internally.
Right. There's got to be a ton we don't even know
For
about.
sure. Yeah, did they talk about any challenges they're facing?
Well, someone asked them point blank about open sourcing their models.
That's a big debate in the AI community, right?
Huge. Should powerful models be open for anyone to use or kept controlled?
Because there's risks either way. Open access could lead to misuse, but keeping it closed off could stifle innovation.
Exactly. And Altman, he acknowledged the good side of open source, but said they just don't have the resources for it right now.
So they're focusing on other things
Yeah, like making sure their own models are safe and reliable.
and pushing the boundaries of AI research.
Right, they want to make a real contribution, not just create something slightly better than what's already out there.
They're aiming for a moonshot. I love that. Okay, back to the juicy details. Anything else stand out?
Oh, there was this great moment. Someone asked them which competitor's product they actually admired.
Okay.
And Altman, he praised Google's Notebook LM, called it super cool.
Wait, he complimented the competition.
He did. Highlighted the podcast-style voices. I think that shows they're willing to acknowledge good ideas wherever they come from.
That's great. It means they're focused on the bigger picture, not just winning.
Absolutely.
What about you? What stood out to you?
For me, it was the vibe at DevDay.
Oh, there was this palpable energy, like everyone knew something big is happening.
Wile actually said they struggle to keep up with what developers are doing with their tools.
So it's not just OpenAI making the breakthroughs.
No, it's everyone using their platform. It's a real community effort.
It really feels like AI is becoming more accessible.
For sure. You don't need to be at a big company to work on this stuff anymore.
That's so exciting. It's like the Wild West, all these new possibilities.
That's a great way to put it. And just like the Wild West, there's also danger. We need to figure out how to handle all of this responsibly.
Absolutely, because with greater power comes greater responsibility, right?
Exactly. And that leads us to something we talked about earlier, the risks of AI bias, job displacement, the potential for misuse.
Those are real concerns, and they're not going away.
It's why these conversations are so important. We need to talk about ethics, create guidelines, make sure AI is used for good.
It's not just about the tech. It's about building a better future for everyone.
Right, a future we can all be a part of.
And speaking of the future, remember Altman's levels framework. Chatbots to reasoners to agents, then innovators and even organizations.
It's a roadmap for the evolution of AI.
So where do you see things going in the next few years?
I think it's clear that AI is becoming more than just a tool. It's a partner, a collaborator.
But what does that actually look like? How will it change our lives?
Well, think about work. If AI can handle the routine tasks, what do we do with all that free time?
Do we pursue our passions? Spend more time with family? Or just relax?
It's a good problem to have, right? But it will change how we think about work, for sure.
Absolutely. And that's just one area AI is going to disrupt. Let's move on to some specific applications that were highlighted at DevDay.
Oh yeah, they had some amazing examples of how AI is being used to solve real-world problems in healthcare, education, even climate change.
It's not just theoretical anymore. AI is already making a difference in people's lives.
And it's only going to get more impactful in the years to come.
So get ready, because in part 3, we're diving deep into those real-world applications of AI. It's going to be a wild ride, so don't miss it. All right, we're back. Last part of our deep dive into OpenAI's DevDay. And things are getting really interesting now because we're not just looking at features, we're talking about how we interact with computers, like fundamentally in the future.
Yeah, Altman, he had this vision. It's almost science fiction. Imagine you walk up to a piece of glass, not even a screen glass, and you tell the AI what you need, not like voice commands we have now.
Right, like play music.
Right, but complex stuff, things that would take you pages to write out.
So the AI has to understand us, like really understand.
It's connected to everything, can reason, take action. You say what you need. It builds an interface right there on the glass, just for you.
Hold on, so instead of us learning how to use the computer, it learns how to understand us.
That's the idea.
Yeah.
And get this, he sees this interface. It's not static, it's video, updating live as the AI does its thing.
So you're watching the AI work.
Almost like an AI movie of your request being fulfilled, and you can interact with it. Voice, gestures, maybe even thoughts to guide it.
Okay, my mind is blown. He thinks this is possible in the next 10 years. That's so soon. What does human life even look like if AI can do all that?
That's the question, isn't it? Honestly, we don't know. But imagine, you can ask your AI to plan a vacation, manage your money, write that book you always wanted to.
It's like having a genie. An AI genie.
But what about us? What about human purpose if AI does everything?
Right. If we get too used to AI doing it all, do we lose something? Creativity, problem solving, those things.
Can AI really replicate those or just mimic them? Big question. And then there's access. What if only some people have this kind of AI? More inequality.
Like the early days of the internet, only some people had it.
Exactly. We have to make sure everyone benefits, not just a few. It's not just tech, it's social, it's ethics. We need to have these conversations now.
This deep dive has been intense. Future of AI. Roller coaster ride. We've seen new features, a future where AI does, well, almost everything, and some really big questions.
And this is just the beginning. The choices we make today, the conversations we have, those will shape what AI becomes.
So everyone listening, don't just wait for the future. Ask questions, be part of the conversation, make sure AI is developed the right way. The future is in our hands.
It really is. Thanks for joining us. This has been a fascinating deep dive. We'll be back soon with another big topic, so stay tuned.